sure that I can only see my target. That's all I need to see. We're looking at the world upside down, and then we're turning it right back side up, and we're making blocks and we're covering downfield. And I'll tell you, it takes a really different kind of guy to play this position. It's a lot of times it's going to be your O-line, tight end, linebacker type guy, somebody who likes to get dirty and mix it up a little bit and hit some people and make some tackles. It's a skill, it's an art, and bend those legs, coil that spring, set those hands, find your spot.
Biomechanics of the experienced long snapper.
The long snap consists of several different motions. It is both simultaneous and sequential. The first part of it is simultaneous because you have knee extension at the same time as the trunk flexion. It's simultaneous just so the athlete can get his body away from the ground and create more space between him and the ball. As you follow through, you get shoulder extension, elbow extension, and wrist pronation, which is the part that becomes sequential to build up speed and velocity on the ball.
And I want to get as much extension of my arms as possible. It's going to allow me the most amount of whip coming through on the snap. Remember, forearms to the thighs every time, thumbs up on the release, and I can zero that thing in and hit them right where I want to. It's going to be more about the arms and then getting big here. Staying low, staying solid here, and getting wide and posting up those gaps. And I was on the sideline for 3 plays, huffing and puffing, because I have 2 visual cues to make sure that I'm square to the line and that I'm square to my punter. Hold and explode backwards.
Biomechanics of a novice long snapper.
Going from the advanced athlete to the novice athlete, you can see that the novice is not quite sure what to do. They're using almost all simultaneous motion. This is because they are trying to just get the ball to reach the target, not with any sort of velocity, accuracy, or speed on the ball.
How equipment affects a long snapper.
With the pads and the helmet on, the athlete is not able to move as freely. This reduces the amount of shoulder abduction and shoulder flexion.
The performance of the deep snap can be enhanced through strength training. The following exercises are gauged at accomplishing that. A mixture of functional movements as well as isolated movements will be shown. A-grip lat pull down. This exercise will be done at a cable pull down machine. Grab the bar with a neutral grip, palms facing inward. Sit down on the machine keeping your arms straight and above your head. Lean back about 30 degrees from upright. Maintaining this position, pull the weight down towards the top of your chest in a controlled manner. Then, allow the weight to slowly return to the top position. Sledgehammer swing. Stand in front of a tire about 2 feet away from it. If you're swinging from your right side, your left foot should be closer to the tire. Grip the sledgehammer. Your left hand should be at the bottom of the handle and your right hand should be gripped right on top, closer to the hammer head. As you bring the hammer up, your right hand slides towards the hammer head, and as you swing down, your right hand will slide down to join your left hand. Once you raise the hammer above you from one side, center the hammer and swing down following the mid-sagittal line of your body. Slam the hammer down as hard as you can against the tire. The hammer will bounce up upon impact, but make sure to control its movement. Overhead slams. Hold a medicine ball with both hands and stand with your feet at shoulder width. Initiate the counter movement by raising the ball above your head with full elbow extension, shoulder flexion, hip extension, and knee extension. Reverse the movement, slamming the ball into the ground directly in front of you as hard as you can. Receive the ball with both hands on the bounce and repeat the movement. Triceps cable pull down. Use a high pulley cable system, preferably with a rope attachment. Standing upright, grab the rope and pull the weight to full elbow extension, maintaining a neutral grip throughout the movement. Make sure to keep your elbows close to your body and not flared out. Your upper arms remain stationary throughout the exercise. Dumbbell overhead extension. To begin, grasp the end of a dumbbell with both hands. Slowly use both hands to lift it over your head until your elbows are fully extended, keeping your upper arms close to your head with elbows in. Then lower the resistance in a semicircular motion behind your head until your forearms touch your biceps. Go back to starting position by using the triceps to raise the dumbbell. Cable crunch. Kneel below a high pulley system that contains a rope attachment. Grab the cable rope attachment and lower the rope until your hands are placed next to your face. Flex your hips slightly and allow the weight to hyperextend the lower back. This will be your starting position. With the hips stationary, then flex the waist as you contract your abs so that the elbows travel towards the middle of your thighs. Exhale as you perform this portion of the movement and hold the contraction for 1 to 2 seconds. Then slowly return to starting position as you inhale.
Psychological aspects that affect a long snapper. There are many different psychological aspects that come into play for the long snapper. One is game pressure, which is dependent on how significant a game is. There's also pressure from the coach to perform. Background noise, including from the coaches, teammates, family, friends, and crowds, can affect the performance of a long snapper. There's also the opponent's attitude, and whether or not they have sportsmanlike conduct or they decide to smack talk. And there's also environmental factors to take into play. The following is an example of the psychological pressure of a coach before a bowl game.
Before I tell you about this game, let me tell you something. Everybody's asked me. I want you to know something. All right? You saw where D-Lou got hurt during pregame. First of all, we think he's going to be fine. Second of all, let me tell you something. We got 94 guys on this sideline. 94 of you that are going to make it up if he's not. You got me? Yes, sir. Then you got me. Yes, sir. Let me tell you something. You run harder. You hit harder than you've ever done in your life. I promise you, they can't beat 94 of us. They can't do it. Grab that rope tight, because I'm telling you what's fixing to happen. They fixing to roll out right for the opening kickoff. The opening kickoff, Dexter, they're going to come out and say, give me the freaking rope. They're going to come and try to grab the rope. They're going to try to jerk out of your hand. They're going to try to bring that rope and say, no, you're going to let go. You're going to let go of the rope. They don't know, do they? They don't know. They don't know you ain't going to let go of the rope. They don't know about us. Now, let me tell you something. Seniors, last time in your life that you're going to line up in a stadium you've dreamed about playing for your whole life. One play at a time. You do your job, you take your depth, you cover your man. You make play after play after play. We get 4, and we give them that. I promise you, we win the game.
The upcoming video displays many psychological factors, including bowl game pressure, large crowds, lots of noise, and playing indoors.
So this will be a 50-yard attempt. And Mark Hudspeth, they just showed him on the sidelines, and he said it twice. He's going to make it. Let's see. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Cajuns win! Cajuns win! Cajuns win! Cajuns win! Cajuns win! Cajuns win! A 50-yard field goal as time expires by Brett Baer, and Louisiana has won the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Holy cow, can you believe it? Baer from 50. And look, that ball landed. He had that one from 55. He'd have had it from 55. Jay, it's just a culmination of a storybook season. The Cajuns come from behind to win this one here at the New Orleans Bowl, baby. Oh, my.
There are many environmental factors involved in a football deep snap. Environmental factors in the football deep snap include whether you're playing on grass or turf, in an indoor or outdoor field, during practice or a game, and whether that game is at home or away. Time of the day also makes a difference in environment, depending on which opponent you're facing, the noise of the crowd, and perhaps the lights. Weather also plays a factor in environment, whether it's hot outside, cold, windy, rainy, snowy, or the sun may be in your eyes also. Weather plays a huge part in environment, whether it's hot outside and your hands are sweating, or it may be cold, windy, raining, or snowing. And also, if it's hot outside, the sun may be in your eyes and distract you.
The following video includes the sports science behind the drastic effect cold weather has in football.
To find out how extreme cold temperatures affect athletic performance, we first get baseline measurements of my reaction time and grip strength.
My skin temperature is the same as the lab, 72 degrees, and my core, tracked by this core temp ingestible thermometer, is 99 degrees.
To simulate the temperatures players experience while playing on the frozen tundra, we brought in an ice truck.
When we're exposed to extreme temperatures, like 10 degrees in this truck, our bodies shift into survival mode.
There's an old myth that half your body heat is lost through your head, so people think wearing a helmet will keep you warm. But in reality, you actually only lose 10% of your body heat through your head, so the helmet doesn't help much.
To keep the body's core temperature elevated, our cardiovascular system pumps less blood to our extremities. In just 15 minutes, the skin temperature of my hands plummets to around 35 degrees. Consequently, my grip strength is cut in half. Yet, even after freezing in the truck for over 30 minutes, my core body temperature hasn't changed. To help accomplish this, our bodies use glucose, a source of energy, 5 times faster than in warm weather. But this leaves less energy for performance. One reason my reaction times were reduced by 45%. And cold doesn't just affect the players, it also affects the football. In our tests, a football exposed to 10-degree temperatures for an hour actually got slightly smaller. Its diameter shrank by 0.05 of an inch, and its air pressure was reduced by over 20%. An underinflated ball like this has a lower coefficient of restitution. In other words, it's not as bouncy and will come off the kicker's foot slower. With all the evidence indicating that cold weather should be next to impossible to play in, statistically speaking, it doesn't affect the game all that much. In cold weather games, punts, on average, travel only 3 yards less. Passing completion percentage drops only 2%, and field goal accuracy only drops 1.7%.
For Sports Science on ESPN, I'm John Brinkus.
While our camera rolled, this car spun out on ice just 2 miles from Cowboys Stadium. Ice Bowl, anyone?
It's colder in this dome than it is in Green Bay, I feel like. It's freezing today.
Some people wanted to blame the Packers and Steelers for bringing this cold weather with them, but the players are having no part of that.
We brought the snow down, huh? Look, man, I was coming down here to enjoy some nice weather. I'm not a big fan of it snowing. Not a big fan of Dallas today.